Hi everyone, and thank you for inviting me to the Zero Waste School Festival. Hello to everyone attending on December 9, and thank you to Vietnam Zero Waste Alliance for inviting me. I'm Tiara. I am the Movement Building Associate of the Breakthrough from Plastic movement, and I'm here to represent all of these organizations and individuals that are working together to fight plastic pollution for good. So the Breakthrough from Plastic movement is now at over 2,700 organizations globally, and more than 13,000 individual supporters that are staying tuned towards what they can do to beat plastic pollution with us. So, I want to give you a short intro of how BFFP views solving plastic pollution, and it is really through systemic change. So, this means tackling the plastic pollution crisis through the whole plastics value chain and looking at what industries are polluting, what policies are allowing these things to happen, and looking for intervention points to actually create change. So, we're focusing on prevention rather than cure and providing effective solutions. We like to use this graphic a lot. We can't really solve the plastic pollution crisis by looking at it as just a waste issue. We can't keep on focusing on what to do with the existing plastic that's there without emphasizing the amount of plastic that's still being produced every day without any goals of reduction from countries or promises from FMCGs of change in distribution systems. So we need to look at what systems are allowing all these things to happen, and we really need to look at things upstream. So we can't just keep on scooping out water from an overflowing tub with a small spoon when plastic production is still up and running by large. So this is the breakthrough from plastic work streams. You can see the plastic supply chain at the start and there are intervention points at the bottom. So I will discuss what's important to us today, which is shifting the narrative and how important that is for the youth and institutions globally. So you'll see Vietnam Zero Waste Alliance as a picture here, and also Green Africa Youth Organization when they participated in the Plastic Free Campus project of Breakthrough from Plastic from 2021. So institutions, by large, are very important in demonstrating power and demonstrating their vision as foundational spaces for students. It's really important to engage students in the spaces where they're at and show them what it means to take leadership in solving the problems that their generation faces in the future or even today. There are currently 1.8 billion people aged between 10 to 24 years old. 90% are living in developing countries. And this is the current generation that's not only most connected to each other, but also it's a generation that has the most at stake with the climate crisis. And it's really going to be affected by what we do about it today in the future. So I'm supposed to talk about plastic-free campuses, and there are essentially 6 steps that we distill for students, organizations, or administration to take. So number one is understanding the need to go plastic free before you go on and plan the program. Awareness is key at the start. And next step 3, is auditing and assessing the waste that's coming in on campus and assessing the infrastructure that's there to manage it. Um, Number 4 is creating a campaign to sustain it in your school. It's important that everyone is aware and not just sorry, it's important that everyone is aware and not just surprised by the changes in school and the rules. So that's why step 5 is also about taking and sustaining action. Step 6 is about scaling, pivoting, and assessing or evaluating the wins of your campaign. I will be discussing different approaches to the plastic-free campus journey. We have worked with organizations that have done this with schools. There are also teachers that have taken initiative in their classroom in their own way. There are also student-led campaigns, and there are also rare instances where it's the administration that actually takes initiative in banning single-use plastic at school. Um, so this goes to show that there is no one way to approach becoming plastic free at school. Everyone needs to look at the context and where we're at, and what will work given the spaces that we're in and the resources that we have and the current positions of people around us with regards to plastic. Um, so first I'll talk about organizational examples. We have Tao in the picture. This is also from Vietnam Zero Waste Alliance's project before. And I'm just going to give a few case studies of how organizations have typically done it. Of course, you can look at the website and look at the manuals to really get in depth with the information and the steps on what to do. But I'll show you some case studies so that you have an idea of what people did to actually get started. So for End Plastic Pollution Uganda, they approached several schools and universities in their area and had a few activities planned. So they had that starter seminar or an event on plastic pollution to start with awareness. They even created this debate with students and sports events between participating schools that are plastic-free events. Uh, they conducted brand audits and also did some awareness campaigns in the school. So what they did was after doing the awareness campaigns, they had the schools sign to become plastic free and commit to changing their policies to ban single-use plastic. We also have another organization called Green Africa Youth Organization in Ghana, and they engaged several universities and schools as well, but their approach was towards the eco clubs that they created within the schools. So it was students that led this journey per school, and they focused on really strengthening the bond within stakeholders. So they conducted meetings not just with students but with the workers in the school and what they will need for this shift to happen. They also held similarly seminars in the story of plastic screenings. I'm seeing they also did a debate and they also did a pledge signing. So that's a way if you're an organization that wants to put emphasis on schools in your network to go plastic free and why. We have ready resources for it. Another approach is when teachers want to be proactive and do the change or start the change in classrooms themselves. So in Franco Brasileiro School in Rio de Janeiro, the students actually did brand audits for 7 days. They were oriented to do it indoors. And then they had a few discussions about it. The school after that also did some screenings of the story of plastic and then committed to go plastic free after that. So the professor that was there, Miss Priscilla Resinanti, emphasized that the students really learned because there was a shift and a change in habits when they were doing the brand audits, where they really realized how much plastic and how much waste was getting into the classroom and into their homes, and also how much they were collecting and where it's actually coming from. Another example is zero waste classrooms in Oxford Elementary School in Berkeley. In the zero waste classroom, these kids actually led and also helped campaign towards a single-use plastic ban in Berkeley and waste reduction ordinance. So this classroom demonstrated how zero waste is possible and how kids can do it and simply understand what zero waste is. So Miss Omania was the lead of this classroom, and it's been very inspiring for the whole city to see kids leading the way towards zero waste. And I'm just showing some resources for teachers available at Breakthrough from Plastic. So we have a plastics education curriculum that helps teachers integrate plastics education into their own lesson plans. We have a primer for teachers to orient themselves on the plastics problem. We have a curriculum map to help you choose which lessons would be appropriate for your context and your lesson plan. And we also have the sample activities for different age groups, for 4 age groups actually, between ages 5 to 18. We also have the training version of that resource, but it's currently ongoing already. Basically, that resource is transformed into Google Classrooms and synchronous sessions to make it easier for teachers to integrate, again, plastics education along with a community of educators. Oh, excuse me. So the next part is student campaigning. This is the type of campaigning that I find to have very successful results, is when students get together and form a plan to campaign for their schools to go plastic free. In Brazil, again, Ufsky San Plastico took the initiative to provide zero waste solutions to their schools, and they made it fun. They engaged the businesses in their schools to participate in their awareness campaign to phase out single-use plastic. This is through giving them badges if they are a sustainable business, if they have shifted to reusables, if they're encouraging reusables, they would have the bigger badges. And it helped reinforce this thinking with students that were approaching the businesses or consuming to buy from the eco-friendly ones. They also created the bank of reusable cups for parties in their university, so that parties would not have to use single-use plastic anymore, and other awareness campaigns as well. Two examples is Eckerd College and CalPERG in California. In Eckerd, a group of students started to do brand audit events, and then eventually campaigned for their college to go plastic free. They had their president really sign the pledge and take action in changing the policies of procurement of the school. And also with CalPERG, California, they organized a lot of petitions and a lot of consulting with the stakeholders of UCLA. And the last and probably one of the rare occasions is when admin actually takes the initiative to go plastic free. For example, in Ecolint in Geneva, this happened in partnership with the Parent Teacher Association, and they also mandated their school to have eco champions or eco warriors to actually make sure that they're on track towards becoming plastic free. There's also Silliman University. My slide is missing. But Silliman University had the directive from their president herself, the picture here, to phase out single-use plastic. So they no longer have plastic in their cafeteria. They have zero waste management within the school, and it's heavily enforced in every building, where they have eco champions that actually also help with the campaigning and the awareness plans of the university each year. So if you're interested in taking the step towards going plastic free and then eventually zero waste, I recommend these resources available in our website. We have an admin guide for administration or teachers who want to shift their school away from single-use plastic. We also have a student guide for students who want to campaign for it and then eventually work with the administration to go plastic free. I show a few ways to get involved with BFFP Youth, but basically you just have to join the youth network through the normal registration process. Sorry, this isn't the slide. You just need to register through BFFP. And if you're an educator, you can also register through um, this button in plasticfreecampus.breakfreefromplastic.org. So there's that. Thank you for having me, Vietnam Zero Waste Alliance. If you have any questions at all, feel free to email me at tiara@breakfreefromplastic.org. Thank you and have a good day. And see you all soon again.